Usually the feeling of dread associated with having to put together our power rankings is warranted. We've had a nightmare time trying to figure out the best team in the NFL. But this weekend, the NFC West did us a favor. Now, it's going to be fun next week as we talk about some of the most exciting games this weekend. Seahawks Rams in the NFC West.
Yeah.
Going to be an absolute banger. As we look back at last week's power rankings, they made it really easy. Seahawks won 44-22 against the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams won 42-26 against the 49ers. The Broncos, they won a game against the Las Vegas Raiders on Thursday Night Football. The Patriots get a win in a prove-it game against the Buccaneers. And the Bills are lone defector, at least on paper right now, with their drubbing at the hands of the Miami Dolphins.
So I feel the top three are easy. Seattle, Rams, New England. Right? New England went to Tampa Bay. New England has two big road wins. They went to Buffalo, a game Ryan and I called where they won 23-20, and they go to Tampa Bay and get a win on the road, 28-23. So I think slotting them at 3 is the right thing to do. Seattle and LA both handled their business extremely well. It's 4 and 5 that are going to be the issues. You have the Colts, who won in overtime against Atlanta, the Eagles, who won against a good team on the road, but it was a 10-7 game. I know you don't like Denver winning 10-7 against the Raiders. The Bills lost; they're out for sure. So it's really filling in 4 and 5, right?
Yes, I'd agree. And I think, if you want to have a conversation about the Broncos still having a place there, I think the offense has been trending down for weeks. We talked about it with Diana. Bo Nix and the lack of trust, it seems, in him in year 2 in that offense is kind of apparent in the play calling. And so if you want to throw them in the mix, I'd say it's between really 4 teams. If you want to involve them, the Colts, the Lions, and the Eagles. I'd involve the Chiefs in all these conversations, but they lost to the Bills 2 weeks ago in a way that didn't look great. And so I'm going to make them prove it to us this weekend against the Denver Broncos in that AFC West matchup. But if we say the Broncos, the Colts, the Lions, and the Eagles as some combination of that last 2, am I omitting anybody, or does that sound like the group we should be picking from?
No, I think that's it. And quite honestly, it's just a holding place for next week. The Colts play the Chiefs. The Eagles play the Lions. And as you mentioned, Seattle plays the Rams. So we have teams that'll technically knock
the Broncos
each other out.
The Broncos.
The Broncos play the Chiefs, yes. The Jets, the Patriots play the Jets, so they should stay right where they are. I feel like we have to put Philly back in the top 5. I know it wasn't a convincing win, but I still think Green Bay is a pretty good team. They're a really good defense, by the way, real good defense. And the defense for Green Bay actually played well against Philly. Denver, another great defense, but the offense I understand is sputtering. The Colts, do we have an issue with them going overtime against Atlanta?
Listen, I think the concern with the Colts has really become pass protection in the last 2 weeks. 12 sacks allowed in the last 2 games in a way that feels concerning at best as we look at that team. So I definitely have some issues there. The one team I'm surprised you haven't mentioned, and I understand they lost 2 weeks ago against the Vikings. What do we do about the Lions right now? I understand there's the head-to-head notion between them and the Packers, but I feel like we're waving bye-bye to that with Green Bay. Dan Campbell takes over as the play caller, and I know it's the backup in Marcus Mariota, but they put the Washington Commanders down like a college football team. So any love for the Lions in the top 5 at maybe the 5 spot?
I mean, the week before they lost to the Vikings, they beat the Commanders without Jaden Daniels, without Terry McLaurin. I mean, the Washington Commanders are a shell of themselves. So I know they put them on them. They can only play who they play. I would put the Eagles in before Detroit, or I'd put them both in and keep out Denver.
You keep out the Colts?
I don't think we can keep out the Colts.
I don't think we can either. I would probably have the Colts in at the 4 spot, and then I would put the Lions in at the 5 spot. If you want the Eagles there, I'll put the asterisk that it was your choice, and I'll be confident walking into this weekend fully believing the Lions are going to beat Philadelphia.
All right, let's do that. Since I'm the older one, you'll give me the pick. We'll go Colts 4, Eagles 5, and then obviously next week game we'll decide that Eagles may move up or Eagles may move out and Lions may move in.
Philly, 2.5-point favorites on FanDuel right now at home against the Lions. So slight edge there. That is our top 5. I feel a little better about this than last week, even though the Eagles got a little bit of that Broncos feel to them that I didn't like and that we bumped out of the top 5 here this week.